Welcome back to my channel, guys. Today I wanted to talk about the beautiful accessory that is in this box here. Yay! Well, I get excited talking about it just because it's something that I spotted on Instagram about 2 years ago. I saw it on Pinterest and I saw it on fashion blogs. And while I may love accessories like handbags, shoes, jewelry, I always thought this type of accessory was a waste of money until I saw it on a fashion blogger, and the more I thought about it, the more I wanted it, and the more I saw it, the more I wanted it. You guys know that's kind of how this works. And so I won't take too much long to reveal what's in this box. And actually I have in this box 2 different Hermes H belts. I have 2 different lengths of belts as well as finishes and 2 different types of buckles. So when I spotted the H belt, I didn't think I could afford one because I thought everything at Hermes was at least $1,500 on up or more. And so I went on eBay. Of course, on eBay, there's going to be a lot of fakes out there. And I saw these belts going for $600 or $700, and I just thought, wow, that's a lot of money to spend for a belt. It's a little piece of leather and a little piece of metal. Is it really worth it? I decided no, it wasn't. And so I got a dupe, which I have listed below. I bought it from C Wonder, who wasn't really trying to knock off the belt buckle, but they did buckles in your initials. And with my initial being T, I thought, oh, that might be kind of cute. But when I saw the H, I just thought, why not? Let's try it. And I wore that belt to the point where it was so worn out, the buckle started to fall off because the hole from the clasp was so big that it just couldn't hold it anymore. And so I just waited and waited and waited as I bought one for myself when I financially could afford it, and I could justify my mind that spending $1,000, it's a lot for a belt. I mean, seriously, over close to $1,000, it's a lot. I checked on eBay again, I couldn't find a deal, and the deals that I could find, you know, these belts were like $500 plus, $600. They were dinged up, they were chipped, they looked like they were ran over by a car. I mean, what were these people doing with their belts? So, seriously, I'm gonna pay $600 for something that is just all scratched and dinged up? So I said, okay, let me get the C Wonder belt. If I wear it a lot, I'll buy the Hermes belt. And finally, I justified it in my head that because I wore my C Wonder belt so much, it was worth it to buy the Hermes H belt. So how they package it is in that orange box, and the belt arrives in the box in a little pouch like this, and it's a herringbone finish with a kind of like a taupe, light brownish type of herringbone and cream with obviously the Hermes initials stamped on it. And inside the pouch is a pull string pouch with a brown cord. Inside I have one of the buckles, and actually I have 2 of the buckles here with me today, and I'll show you what it looks like here. So on this one, if I can position this the right way without showing you too much, or sorry, if I can position this the right way to show you the really beautiful finish of the belt. So my first initial H belt was in this gold tone color. And then for Christmas, I did receive from my husband, it was on my wish list, he said he saw this appear on and off my wish list a number of times, the silver version, and it has grooves on it. I don't know if it will show up on camera here that you can see the grooves, but there you go. And here is what the back looks like on the belt. Let's see if I can show it to you here. Maybe this might be an easier way to see it. And it is stamped Hermes. I don't know if you're able to see it again, but at the top here, it is stamped Hermes. So that is maybe one of the stamping methods. And inside the belt buckle, there's another stamping. You can see it there if I can angle it the right way. So the 2 finishes, this gold buckle is in a brushed gold, and this is in a silver groove, so you can compare the side by side. And I got so excited when I bought the gold one. Remember, I was Persian in my last life, so I love everything black and gold. I wanted to buy this, you know, belt buckle. That's it. I had the belt for my Sea Wonder. I'm sure it could fit. And the SA said, no, we can't sell it to you individually like this. You have to buy it with the belt. And so that was kind of disappointing because I thought I could buy one of these separately, but no, you can't. The cost of the belt buckle and the belt is a combined amount of $880. So when I made up my mind that I wanted to buy it, I looked at the price online. I hadn't looked at it before in my hand. I just thought it's too expensive, I can't afford it. Very much like one of my other reviews in which I bought a Twilly, and I actually bought 2 Twillies. I didn't think I could afford it because on eBay they were selling more for than what you buy it in store, which is ridiculous. So if you guys are looking for these H belts, look at the Hermes store first before you start going on Vestiaire Collective or eBay, because for a few $100s more, if we're thinking luxury, if you can afford to spend $700 on a belt, you can afford to spend $880, right? Let's get real. Anybody looking to spend that kind of money on a belt is, if they can't afford it, then if they can't afford to spend $700 on a belt or $900 on a belt because it's going to take away from something that they actually need, I would encourage you, don't buy the belt. It's not worth it. Go get the Sea Wonder version like I did for under $90. But if you have an extra $1,000 to spend on an accessory, this is a great way to invest in a look because it does pull it together quite well. So I'll show you the 2 different types of belts. My first belt I purchased, and you can see them side by side here. So this is in the box leather, and you can see one of them, this one here has a shinier finish versus this one, which is a little bit more matte. And the 2 belts, this is a box leather, and in the reverse, I have it in gold and I have it in brown here. The gold has the reverse white or stitching, reverse stitching. I can't talk today. And you can see here the holes are evenly spaced apart for the loops. They look to be about 1.5 inches or so. And you can see how it has held up. This leather on the flip side here is in the Togo leather. So I bought this belt, and you can see how much longer this one is versus this one. And you can see how the end of the finish where this is cut off versus this one. I don't know why that is. It's kind of weird because the 2 ends are a little different. Maybe one's a woman's belt and one's a man's belt. I don't know. And the sizes of this belt, it is stamped and sized on the inside. So inside each one of them says Hermes, made in France, and I'll hold it here. Let's see if this will auto zoom in. And the dark brown belt is in a size 80, and my gold belt is in a size 75. Maybe this is a 90 and I'm just reading it wrong. Nope, it's 80. And inside this Togo leather belt, it is stamped 80XCT. It looks like there's a special kind of stamp which I can't seem to make out. 10 Hermes, Paris, France. This, in the gold color on the inside, it is stamped 75 R FM 520, and the same Hermes, made in France. So I don't know if you can see the fine detailed stamping here. I absolutely love these 2 belts. This gold and black box belt was purchased because I wanted to wear the higher waisted skinny jeans, as well as dresses that I wanted to give it a little bit of extra, you know, that little bit of luxury to where you're wearing a cheap Forever 21 tank dress and you're pairing it with the Hermes belt. It totally makes the outfit. And I definitely would say if you can afford to buy this belt, do it because it is worth every single penny. I'll go ahead and go over the pros and cons of each belt so you can kind of understand what it's what I really like about it. Sorry, my iPad's been sitting here and my phone. You can tell I'm shooting at my office. So what I like about the lower waisted belt in this color is that obviously the versatility of this dark chocolate brown and the black. The belt has been wearing quite nicely, and I'll show you how it sits, buckle sits on. So you want to slip it in however which way you want it, and so you can see here this part of the belt buckle pushes through. So it sits like this. And you loop it around and underneath yourself, so then you can choose the different sizes of the holes that best fit you, depending on if you've eaten some pasta and now you're getting a little puffy, or if you're on a good day, the belt will sit on the shortest hole or the closest hole versus the longest furthest away hole. I can't talk right now. So once you loop it in, you just push it down through the hole, push it in, and then the belt's like this. And it comes off easily by pulling this to this out, and it undoes. So, and because it is reversible, you undo it, you flip the belt around. Obviously you want to flip this around, and you slide it back through again. So here's a belt, and then you slide it around for the brown side. I don't get to wear this side very often, just because I don't wear a lot of browns, but I think it would look great if you wore olive green, you wore navy, if you're wearing, if you wore like a, maybe the right kind of pink colored dress, because sometimes pink and black can be kind of harsh. So this is some options, and I'll show you what the other one looks like with the silver buckle. What Hermes will actually do is once you own the buckle, then you can buy the belt, which I find a little bit annoying, because why can't you just buy a bunch of these buckles and have the belt made for, I don't know, $90? Well, Hermes doesn't work that way. I wish it did. I'll list the price of the belts below without the buckle, but to buy it together, that's what you have to do. I believe this is in the 32 millimeter size. So you can see how it slides in like this, and I push it through the hole. So now here's a silver one, and again you slide this in and you pick the hole size you want underneath and you push it through. So, and it pushes through and it holds. The Sea Wonder belt that I purchased originally, the leather got so loose at this portion of the belt that whenever I went to the bathroom, I would do this and the buckle would just fall off. So I knew that it was time for me to buy this Hermes belt once I wore that Sea Wonder belt so often. If it's doing that, I'm getting my money's worth out of it, and it's time to invest something that's longer lasting. So to show you a side-by-side comparison, let's do the brown and black so you can kind of see what it looks like, the side-by-side comparison. And then I will turn this around so you can see what it looks like with the gold Togo leather on the inside. I am sort of talked out today because I'm a little worn out. So here's the gold, or sorry, here's the silver. Here's the silver version. Why can I not talk today? And this one is not buckled in all the way, so let me push it down on the holes of the belt so you can see here how they look. And I'll show you what the black one looks on the inside. So in my experience of buying these belts, the Hermes essays were really, really sweet. They were so nice to help me find the right size. What you can do is, if you don't want to buy two different belts, but you want to be able to wear it with skinny jeans higher on your waist up here, wear it up higher, wear it lower on your waist or on your hips, you can buy the bigger belt and just have them put holes in it. So I think eventually I'll have them put holes in this belt here, but because I have 2 of them now, I don't need to. But you definitely, that's an option that you can do if you want to save some money. But again, I wanted to have the silver buckle, and the only way for me to get the silver buckle was to buy the belt. So here I am buying, asking my husband to get me a belt in a smaller size. I think next on my list of belts to buy, now that I own these buckles, I'm thinking about maybe the orange one in the reverse, or maybe the white belt. Is that a little too too kind of out there? I don't know. I'm debating that. I think what's throwing me off is that you see how much belt there is to this one left over versus the silver one here. There's like a lot left. and it's cut off here, where here it's not cut off. So is this like a men's belt? Can one of you guys answer that? Maybe it is. Doesn't matter now. I own it. I've worn it. Here's what you can see kind of side by side. The gold belt has been chipped now. It is showing signs of wear. There's scratches and little nicks on the belt itself, which I'm fine with because I think that's part of the character of owning something for such a long time. The belt itself, you can see where it sort of had to stretch around my hips to work. There's a little bit of buckling of the belt. And it's a little bit it's a little wrinkled here. And so far the stitching is pretty good. There's a few little scratches on the leather. You probably can't see it here, but there is some scratching on the leather. And this one is holding up pretty nicely. This one in the shiny leather, which looks fabulous, doesn't it, with the silver buckle? I haven't worn this one too often yet, but it is already starting to show scratches. You probably can't see it, or maybe you can, on the belt here. Through just normal wear and tear, my fingernails scratching it. I think that maybe with some leather cream or taking it to Hermes, maybe they'll show me how to get the scratches out of it. The belt buckle, because of the nature of the grooves, it's going to hide scratches much more easily than my matte finish one here, which is showing you know, some removal of the patina on the belt. There aren't any scratches on this. It's hidden them quite well here. The Togo leather, I definitely would want a bag in this because of the graining. It is so beautiful and gorgeous and durable that it's going to last for quite a long time. And let's show you what it looks like on the inside here. And for the reference, you know, this one here is in the 80 and this one here is in the 70 size. I typically wear a 25 size jeans, and so I'm 5'2". My torso is really not that long, so this size belt fits perfectly in terms of its width here, because it's not too big to where it's going to swallow up what little waist and torso I have. That's pretty much it, guys. I'm starting to get all sweaty here because I have these lights and it's very warm in my office right now. I'll leave some links below on what I can find on any dupes of the H belt. Sea Wonder may be the best bet. I don't know if they're still doing their monogram line or not. I wouldn't buy it off of eBay just because for a little bit of more money, why not buy it brand new and get it beautifully polished and shiny the way you want it, and then you can ding it up on your own versus wearing someone else dinged up belt, because for the prices I've seen these on eBay, it's not worth the money to buy it used at that price. Just let's be honest, it's really not that, it's not worth it, and the belts are all scratched up and screwed up. So I would say that if you're debating about whether to buy these two belts or not, or one, or gold or silver, that is a toss-up. I love gold and black, so this was my first option. This one was a present. In conclusion, I would say that if you are willing to cough up $880 plus tax and you feel it's going to fit into your lifestyle, do it. If you're not sure, get the C Wonder version, give it a go. And if you're wearing the belt to death and you come up with a number of wears that justifies purchasing the H belt, I would say, hey, if you've worn it at least 100 times in the last year, then go ahead and do it, because then the cost per wear just decreases dramatically with this belt. They will last forever. You're going to love it. I love mine. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave it below. But until the next time I see you guys in my next video, have a good night, have a good morning, or a good day wherever you are. Bye.